All right, so this week I'd like to introduce our guest for this week. We have Let's Drive to Alaska. Alright, welcome back to BandWidth Mondo. I'm sitting here with Let's Drive to Alaska. Alright guys, thanks for playing that song. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Now, I want to start off by asking you guys some questions, get our listeners to become familiar with who you guys are. So Let's Drive to Alaska, you know, how'd you guys come up with that name? What does it mean?
I knew he was going to ask that.
Well, you know, that's what we all do here, ask questions.
I thought of that name when I was in high school. There's a band I used to listen to, I still listen to, called The Owls, and they had this lyric in one of their songs that says,
Bring
Let's
the
Drive to
mic up
Alaska.
to your
But yeah, so the song, in the song lyrics, he says, "Let's drive to Alaska," and I just decided that sounded pretty good.
Excellent. Now, so where did you guys all meet? You know, how did you guys decide to become a band and make this rockin' music here?
How did we start this?
Well, I've known Chris Garcia and Chris Holgren for about 10 years now. We've all played in different sorts of projects and whatnot, but I didn't start playing with Let's Drive to Alaska until last month or so, something like that. And that's when I met Patrick as well. So I think Chris and Chris have more of that down.
Yeah, we have. Chris and I have been going through different kinds of styles of music from high school. We were in full bands together, and I was doing electronic music while he was also doing some electronic music at the side. And then Patrick, he had a lockout studio next to mine a couple years ago, and he was like, "Dude, we should just jam out some Let's Drive to Alaska stuff."
What are some of the current bands that you guys are into right now? Maybe independently and shows that you guys have collaborated on. Either which, like maybe an independent band that you guys have done a show with that's your favorite, or you know, maybe you haven't met these folks, but they're independent and out there and singing. Who do you really like that's out right now?
There's this girl that's coming up right now in the LA scene. She plays for Gothic Tropic. Liv. She goes by the name Lephemera, and she has a single out right now called Young, and it's a really catchy single. It's really good.
She's in the LA scene?
Yeah, she plays in Gothic Tropic. She plays drums. No, but I actually did a remix for her. I did a collaboration with her, actually.
Nice.
Oh, that's excellent.
Probably bring that in the studio.
Yeah.
Interviews.
Hello.
There's this one man we all know of and played with before in the past years. They've been in the scene for a little while, but they just never really had that nice break. They're called Preacher's Sons. And they just
Preacher's Sons?
Preacher's Sons.
Yeah.
They're literally Preacher's Sons.
That's a righteous name. That's a righteous name. It's a righteous lifestyle.
And they're a righteous band. They write really good songs, really good folk rock band. They just came out with the record not too long ago. I forgot what it was called.
It's like a flood feels like a drought.
There you go. Hogan got it.
I have 2 copies.
Yeah, they're an awesome band. So you should check them out.
Good friends.
Yeah, really, yes. Let's see what else is popping in Fullerton. There are a couple local bands who have been at it for a long time. I think Dog and Bloom deserves a shout out.
Yeah.
They haven't really been that good. But those guys have been around a long time, and they have consistent drive. So I expect that they'll blow up with something here eventually.
All right, welcome back to BandWidth Mondo at our premiere episode here. We still have Let's Drive to Alaska in the studio, thank God. Now, so I guess we're going to jam out with the guys. Are we jamming out?
Yes, we will be doing a jam out. We're actually going to do a whole full session with Let's Drive. We normally go from 3 to 4, but because it's the premiere, we're going from 3 to 4:30, so you guys can hear Let's Drive for the next 30 minutes or whatever.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. They're a good fan. Look them up on Facebook. Let's Drive to Alaska. Also, don't forget to add BandWidth Mondo on Facebook and follow us on the Twitter and on the Instagram.
Look up the Mondo Zone on Instagram. Take pictures of random inanimate objects and make them look really good with their filters.
Yeah.
If you heart it, I'll heart you back.
Yes, absolutely. So, without any further ado, I think it's time for Let's Drive to Alaska to start playing some music. So why don't you guys just take it away, boys?
Oh, good.